and hope, the foundation of the racing business. Heroes of the sport, inspiring kids that want to become a star of the future. Records are set, then chased and erased. 32 of 36 races are 1,000 fans on hand, hoping to see 43 of their racing heroes go 500 miles today. It's a race as much against the competition as it is against the weather, though, at this point, as a large front of rain is west of here and threatening the full distance of this race. And a look at the starting lineup for today's race. Newman with Bobby Labonte, alongside on the front row. Bobby, of course, a 6-time Atlanta winner, won here back in March. Row 2, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Brian Vickers. Vickers making his debut for the Hendrick Motorsports Winston Cup team, getting a jump on his 2004 ride. And Bill Elliott, today's honoree in the Winston Victory Lap program, being honored for his 1988 championship, his 43 career Winston Cup wins, and appropriately BP honored before his home state Georgia fans that have been so loyal to him over the years.
Yeah, let's try to talk to Bill. Bill, have you been at Parsons? You got me?
Hello, BP. How you doing there, good buddy?
I am doing good. How special does that feel up here in front of all these guys, in front of your home fans?
I want to do it in lap 325 to be truthful, but it's, you know, Winston's been a great part of our sport. It's just great to be a part of the celebration of them this season. Hate to see them go. You know, hopefully have a good day today and see what happens.
It was 15 years ago you got that championship. Can you get the victory today?
Well, I certainly would like to hope so, BP. You know, these guys have worked awful hard on this Dodge dealer, UAW Dodge. We'll give it a run for the money.
Bill, congratulations on a great career and good luck today.
You BP, good talking to you.
Bill Elliott starting in 5th position today. 3 top 10 finishes the last 3 weeks. See if he can put it in victory lane today here in Atlanta. And boy, would the people go crazy if he did.
Oh, they would love to see it. He grew up in North Georgia, up around Dawsonville.
Still lives there. Blairsville, Georgia. We look at the rest of the starting lineup. Ward Burton in the 0 car this week. A lot of guys getting a jump on 2004. We talked about Vickers in the 25, Joe Nemechek in the Army car, the 01. Ward's in the 0, Scott Wimmers in the 22. You guys had a couple days of practice on this, so you're going to have to help me out today.
And I'll tell you what, Bobby Hamilton Jr., one of the last qualifiers, was very, very fast in practice. We might see him go from the back to the front here today.
Mark Martin kind of been struggling here all weekend. There's Scott Wimmer, his debut in the 22. And Ricky Rudd in his 800th NASCAR Winston Cup start, just the 4th driver ever to reach that milestone. Get into the race, 49 for 43 spots. And moving to the back, Ward Burton in a backup car.
With a lot of money, Matt Kenseth could win this race. A bonus of about $330,000.
Yep.
And it would ease his mind so much more than the money.
And just to fill you in on the details of that, only a week for a long time. Wow. So Matt Kenseth wins today. It's an extra $330,000. Weather today, bottom line, is the important one. 325 laps, 500 miles on one of NASCAR's fastest tracks. We're underway in Atlanta. Wow, a lot of cars look like they got a little wheel spin there, BP, on the start with this racetrack being green.
Yeah,
on the tires.
I wondered, did Casey Mears go to the outside and jump the start?
He most certainly did, BP. Black flag coming up for Casey Mears.
You have to stay behind the car in front of you on the green flag. You can go to the outside and pass on restarts on the caution, but on that green flag, you just got to stay there. Look at him, 3 wide off 4.
Brian Newman leads lap 1. Bobby Labonte second. Dale Jr. third. Bill Elliott fourth. Brian Vickers and Joe Nemechek run 5th and 6th. 3 wide behind him for 7th. That's Casey Mears riding that rim, and he's got to find a way to the bottom to serve that black flag penalty. He's got to get to pit road.
Yeah, it's going to be that's going to be tough for him to do. He's got a lot of cars underneath him right now, so he's better off just getting up on that high line and getting out of the gas, so all these cars will pass him so he can get pit lane, because after a couple laps they're going to stop scoring him. Now he's down to the bottom, so he'll come in this lap.
Elliott Sadler just came out of the car.
He just clicked on the radio and said left side only, left sides only.
Caution's coming out. Dale Jarrett has just dropped a fire carcass, if you will, in turn 1. And that's a huge break for Casey Mears, who gets to serve his black flag penalty under the yellow flag.
So he will not lose a lap.
Come on.
And you can see the damage there behind the left rear tire of Dale Jarrett's car. When that tire flew off, it did some damage on the body there.
Let's go back and show you what Benny was talking about.
Here's the 41 car, and watch as he dives to the outside and goes by Kevin LePage in the 4 car before you get to the start-finish line. That is a no-no.
And remember the definition in the act of passing.
Watch the left rear here. See it? You can see it's already down.
Ooh, Jarrett's almost...
Man, I'll tell you what. That definitely gets your attention.
At this track?
Oh, man, I'm telling you what. When you get loose here, it takes your breath away. And I mean, for a while.
And he's riding, there is a tire inside the tire, and that's what he's riding around. Oh, now you saw the outer tire, what grips the racetrack fly off the car.
Don't too hard to get it, you know,
That's
get out there and pull the crush panel apart.
So
Just make
caution
sure
is
you
out
get it back
just a couple
straight.
of laps into the race. The last laps at Homestead, that's for sure.
Oh, now that's legal. What is that flying off?
Lost something, yeah.
What's that flying off the cars?
Piece of metal or something just got kicked up, or tape, or... Restart was a little bit late.
Yeah, we saw the restart line across the racetrack, and I think that Ryan Newman was a little bit late getting back on the throttle. Look at Kurt Busch go 3 wide in 1.
Very nice.
He knew that rookie in that 25 car picture.
Let him give it to him.
Yeah, he'll back off. He might this time, Kurt, but next year he probably won't.
NASCAR spotters have taken a look at whatever that was that flew up on the racetrack and determined it was a piece of fiberglass or something from those body panels on the cars, and it's okay, so it's out of the way.
It's okay. It's not going to injure other cars, but it's not okay for the car it came off of.
Second place, Dale Jr. on Bobby Labonte, and quickly through. Fighting most in the final practice session, loose side entry.
Not good here in Atlanta, let me tell you.
Not at 190, 95 miles per hour. That's not good. Here they come. Tony Stewart, that 20 car, the victor in Charlotte just a couple of weeks ago. On the move.
He just passed both of those cars off of turn 4. He hung a left, put his left sides right on that white line and went by.
And look carefully, folks, because that's probably the last time you'll see the 15 that low on the racetrack. Once again, Tony Stewart goes 3 wide.
Oh, man, he's flying. Tony Stewart started 24th. He just took 12th place away from Michael Waltrip. And about to take 11th away from Brian Vickers. Bill?
And just a note about Brian Vickers, his car's a little tight, just his second Winston Cup start, but he's having trouble on the restarts because the transmission is not geared like his Busch car, so he's learning by doing now in the Winston Cup Series.
I think he's going to learn by doing a lot.
Yeah, I think he's learned a lot about aerodynamics right now, too, because these guys in Cup, there's so many competitive cars, and if they see a rookie out there, they're going to go and try to get him loose. They're going to mess up for the lead.
How about that 29 car going by Junior Harvick to second place?
Junior got right up behind Ryan Newman, but kind of hesitated with trying to cut underneath him, and Harvick went right around Junior on the outside off of 2.
And no hesitation for the lead for Harvick.
First lead change of the race, Kevin Harvick out front. Very impressive. Hey, you know, with this weather around,
He's going to end in 5 laps. I got to get to the front. Dave, what are they saying about Junior's car?
Well, you just saw him pass Ryan Newman on the inside for second. While he was talking,
What's saying?
Not much, Benny. His car was a little tight. They talked about pitting under the caution, decided not to. This car is no good for 4 laps. Then it takes off like a rocket. Wally, I believe that's similar to his Busch car yesterday. Did you see him when he went past you in a blur yesterday in the Busch race?
yeah, he definitely, there's a couple of cars in the Busch race yesterday that were just terrible for about the first 15 or 20 laps.
Well,
but then they came on strong.
Yeah, and that's what they're looking for out of this 17 car. Started 37th and marching forward.
And that's exactly what he did yesterday, right down on the bottom of the racetrack, right on the white line. And it's working again today.
were with us yesterday. Matt Kenseth started at the back of the pack in his Busch Series car because of an engine change. He was leading at lap 50. I don't think he'll get to the lead by lap 50 today. This is a little bit tougher field, but...
And check this out. He's going to the top to see, just to make sure it's not faster up there once he got clear of this traffic.
Well, one thing, if you're going to run on the bottom of the racetrack,
Side tires.
So what do you think that is, Walt? I don't know. I guess that'd be tight. That was the last thing he reported, and also cars behind him make him loose off the corner.
Sound like the whole car's sliding across the racetrack. That the left just isn't gripping the way he wants it to.
Here's the race. A lot of chatter on the NASCAR radio back and forth about raindrops. NASCAR race director David Hoots talking to his spotters out. Second caution, 50 miles into the race, 32 laps. And this one from Mother Nature.
Down pit road and pit this time.
Because he has a left rear tire flat.
Probably from the contact with Kurt Busch.
Be a good guess.
Well, that's not too good. So
this is Matt Kenseth on board his car as he looks back at Kurt Busch. Get ready to leave, and Busch drives out.
that's Blaney.
I'm sorry, Blaney. Thank you, boys.
How about Matt Kenseth? Race leader and a race contender with a damaged race car from the few laps that were run yesterday. Alan Bestwick here in Atlanta live. Wally Dolan back alongside. Benny Parsons is off attending to some family business today. His father Harold feeling a little under the weather. BP's Todd Bodines in the wall, and there's more spinning in the traffic jam behind him. Kevin LePage has gone around. Oh! Kenny Wallace there with contact.
Yeah, he just jumped over somebody. You know, I don't know who it was, but on that restart, I was watching Todd Bodine and another car go through the corner, and they were very, very close to each other. And when you run that close together through the corners, the guy in the bottom gets loose. We'll have to see if we can get back to that replay, but we talked about green racetrack.
Yeah.
Slippery.
Kenseth get some damage, Bill?
On the radio says, I was in it. May just be sheet metal, but look for him to come down pit road when it's open. They can't see the car yet.
Left rear corner folded up under a little bit. It doesn't look like anything major, Bill. Front fenders are intact.
I got to look at it as it went down the front stretch. They're talking about it on the radio. Robbie said I might want to look at it one more time before you come in.
Only area of concern might be where they put the fuel.
He's on the bottom, or actually the car on the bottom got loose and got into Todd Bodine.
Yeah, this is Michael Waltrip.
Yep. So Michael was, when you run this close to the corners like that, you really, the aerodynamics on that car on the bottom of the racetrack isn't there. And now these other guys get just caught up with everybody checking up.
Yeah, it looked like Kenny Wallace went up over the top of Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s right rear. Top of the screen, right-hand side.
Michael was just saving his race car, got into the back of Todd Bodine.
And now in the jam up, somewhere in there, Matt Kenseth gets run into from behind. See Hamilton Jr. and Kenny Wallace there. This is Mark Martin's view.
Oh, talk about threading the needle.
See the first place and Kevin Harvick leading. Yikes. Been searching out the highline already.
Yeah, both times on the restart, Ricky's gone to the top right away.
32 cars, Craig. He's kind of like Michael Waltrip. We talk about Michael being one of the first to search the highline out and going for second. You're not wearing your grapevine shirt today, are you?
No. You see Stewart trying to get to the bumper of Kevin Harvick. Try to get him a little bit loose like his teammate Bobby Labonte did. Weber, what are they saying about Harvick's car?
Tight, tight, tight. That help you out?
Yeah. Must be tight.
At least he's consistent. Tony, though, not quite able to get past him and pick up the spot around. Ryan Newman in the 12 to pick up the 8th spot. And Tony Stewart still all over Kevin Harvick for second.
What's the lead amongst friends?
Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte changing the top spot. Joe Gibbs Racing out in front early in the Bass Pro Shops NBNA 500. Started 19, three-time Atlanta winner, and of course the winner of last week's race at Martinsville, Virginia, his 5th straight top 5 finish.
Some changes on it. Just make a wedge adjustment.
lap 46. And he had fallen back in the field to 39th spot while Kevin Harvick was leading, and the gap has worked his way all the way back to 18th, regaining most of the advantage.
Told you how to wait to see if they try and pull that left front vent pressure adjustment in the front tires only. Service complete for Labonte. 12 car of Ryan Newman coming in now. Wicked tight, so a myriad of problems for Ryan Newman, but none that are putting him in jeopardy yet. He leads pit road.
Now the pit stops continue. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the leader. 9 spot around through the grass. No caution yet. No caution yet. Now the caution comes out.
The lights were on long before the flag came out.
Well, I'll tell you what might explain that, Bill. I monitor NASCAR's race control radio, and I did not hear they have that much damage. But we'll go a lap or two down. Is this? Now let's see if we can get the wrecker stuck.
They wanted to stay out and get bonus points for leading a lap, so they were still out because they had pitted out of sequence because of the earlier caution. Now he gets to pit under caution
On the pit road to get their service under the yellow flag. Bill?
Loose off of turn 2. Perfect in 3 and 4. That's what matters.
We have 32 cars on the lead lap. And the leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr., I got to count here because this is, let's see, 2, 4, 6. He is 8 in line on the racetrack in that outside lane. So he's got 7 cars on the tail end of the lead lap in front. That puts him back to 17th place.
Okay, now we got a lot of guys out there behind the wheel that are not very happy.
That's way back in the line of cars, and all these guys hoping for a quick caution so they get a 1.5 mile free pass to come back around and rejoin the tail end of the field.
Marty, Alan and Wally, you can imagine Jimmy Finning's frustration. What was their explanation to you?
And lap like all these other cars.
Absolutely. Why put yourself a lap down? I mean, that's exactly what they did by coming in. So yeah, Tommy's right. I mean, he will let the car out there.
Dale Earnhardt,
I'm not sure either. I mean, he's in traffic right now, so it's hard to tell what he's trying to do. Obviously, around these other cars, it's going to tighten his car up a little bit. But if you're loose in, you don't want to drive.
And having some difficulties, it looked like finding a line that his car was running.
Yeah.
And some of these guys trying to work their way around him. They've been 2 wide, 3 wide, including the 17 car, Bill.
Just in a lot of traffic right now. Nothing from Matt on the radio. Some lap times from Robbie Reiser, but trying to get through that traffic. There's Spotters, the guy that's really doing an excellent job riding with Matt.
Think of the 30 car right now.
And Steve Park running 24th place.
Wow,
Big smoke down in turn 1. It's not smoking on the straightaways. I wonder if he's got some fenders down on the tires or something.
I don't know. That was a lot of smoke when he came through 3 and 4 that last time. Take a look here.
Watch when you see it's not on the straightaway, when he goes into the corner and the car dives down.
Yeah, it's rubbing that left front. Ooh, you don't want that here. Just started doing that, though.
Okay, so you said ooh because you thought maybe there was a caution there.
I thought with all that smoke. Yeah, there's a lot of smoke.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot more smoke if we don't get that fixed.
They're talking about how many laps are on those tires, and they said it wasn't smoking, but it is now.
Oh, yeah. He's leaning on that fender really, really hard, and I think I'd want to stay out there if it was hitting that hard.
Okay, so Steve Park in the AOL car with some troubles here, and
hopefully he doesn't cut that left front tire down.
I was going to say, see if he brings it down on pit road here and gets some attention paid to that by his crew. Bill, you were about to lead us through the field, I know.
First complaining about the traffic, then loose. Earlier in this race, he was very tight. Now he says that 29 car is spinning out loose. 2 cautions ago, a lot of work on Sterling Marlin's car. Now
By Earnhardt Jr., Bobby the Body, Jeff Gordon, and Joe Nemechek. Nice drive in the Army car up in 5th place. Schrader.
Out of the race car, just
Boy, I think I got in the middle there. Slid up the racetrack to get out of gas.
And that will bring Newman around.
Seventh caution of the race. Michael Waltrip, after being involved in
Just shoots up the racetrack, and I'm sure he got into the oil out 15, like Alan was saying, Michael Waltrip.
So here comes
Never count out Bobby Labonte here.
caution number 8. And that wet grass down to the inside going to be tough to get out of.
Yeah, he's a dirt tracker.
Yeah, that's true.
Get out of it.
So 77 car in some trouble here, and it puts out the caution. Ooh, Kevin Harvick, get a piece of that?
Yeah, looks like some damage there. I don't know if that's from the 77 car. Could be.
Yes, he did. So mark that one down as important in the championship, because if Harvick has to spend any kind of extra time on pit road to get that fender fixed, he's going to lose the track position advantage he has on Kenseth. Here come leaders to the opening of pit road as Blaney leaves. Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Kurt Busch, and Bill Elliott, your first 5 in. Go ahead, Bill.
Gordon with a great race.
Jimmy Spencer led for a couple of laps under caution. He missed his pit when he came down for his stop. Now just came back in to get his service. He's back in 21st place, last on the lead lap. Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Kurt Busch, and Tony Stewart, the top 4. See if Stewart can make any quick progress up through the traffic.
Labonte's got to run off the turn, too. Look high.
For the race lead, Bobby Labonte and Jeff Gordon fought for the win in the March race.
Motoring away. I talked to Fatback this morning. They really look at 2003 as 2 seasons. From Daytona to Daytona, 10 top 5 finishes, but their momentum shifted at Chicago when they lost the car that won with here in the spring. We've got a crash.
Turn 1 and 2. Steve Park with a heavy impact. Earlier in the race, Park had a fender rub on his left front tire, though we hadn't seen it smoking lately. Boy, he shortened up the right side of that car.
Yes, he did. I see broken rotors and pieces like that sliding down the racetrack.
Steve dropping the window net. Good to see.
You're not going to crash soft here.
Ninth caution of this race.
Something definitely broke on that car. Hard to tell from that angle, but the car shoots up the racetrack like that. I think we would see some sparks there before he hit the wall.
Go on board Ken Schrader's car for another look. He and Steve racing for a spot here.
Okay, he just hit the wall hard. Yellow's out. Still got one on your outside, clear all around.
The left front tire was either flat or something happened, and that's where that rub was earlier in the race.
Here come the leaders with 101 laps to go. Gets their man out first.
This guy's been kicking butt in pits today, 2014.
Yeah, good work. Look at Robbie Gordon going to get out fourth.
Bill Elliott, is that Bill Elliott there?
Yeah, that's Bill, Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch. Here comes Elliott Sadler, then Ryan Newman and Matt Kenseth. Tony Stewart way back in line. Checking the speed.
It kills your lap times. Ooh, Earnhardt looked a little bit loose there. Getting off of turn 4, one of his cars going on the loose side.
Follow up from pit road on that when we come back. How's that? Jimmy Johnson by for 3rd place. Bobby Labonte's crew disappointed on the pits of the start-finish line. 50 laps to go. But he hasn't finished the pass yet.
But Bobby Labonte will pull back ahead now, going down the back distance. He's got the momentum.
Michael McSwain, back. Bobby Labonte's crew chief. Looking on, watching his car, and having to decide when to bring Labonte in for his final pit stop. We're going to start to see, as Bill said,
We are between 11 and 14
down to a matter of feet, yards, car lengths.
Half as long here in Atlanta.
Yeah. While the fans come. Great racetrack. 5 laps to go. Greg Biffle's just taken his car to the garage. He'll be done for the day, shy of the checkered flag. All right, what's Kevin LePage's role here? Is he supposed to just move over and get out of the way and where's that last on the lead lap?
I would. I mean, you know, if you're not racing anybody, which he isn't, but he's running pretty fast right now, too.
Trouble down the backstretch. Ryan Newman. Caution is out. And Newman's in trouble from 6th place. We have just passed the point at which the red flag would not be used to ensure a green flag finish of this one. So the question is, can they get Newman's car and any debris out of the way quickly? Jeff Gordon got another lap out of it because the pace car didn't get him until just now. And Newman's got enough damage on the left side of his car that he's not going anyplace.
Dave, Ryan radioed in that he was okay. Then they said, can you fire it up? And he said, yeah, we're running. Problem is he's not turning.
Racing with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And he just got arrow loose right there in front of the 8 car. He slid up in front of the 8 car. The air got off the rear spoiler and turned himself around.
And so this race is going to finish under caution because the yellow came out after the point at which they would use the red flag. He went so long this season with the 1 win. Got one at Martinsville a week ago and then picked up another here in Atlanta today. His 6th straight top 5 finish. And Gordon locked in that very close fight for second in the final NASCAR Winston Cup Championship standings. Helps his cause today with maximum points for winning. Jeff Gordon is the winner in Atlanta.
Yeah, baby, 2 in a row.
Well, let's see how they rank. Tony Stewart disappointed in second. Nemechek. Matt Kenseth, 11th place. He'll take that.
Yes, sir. Take it and don't look back.
18 points now. Earnhardt Jr. taking over second. Jeff Gordon up to 5th. And Ryan Newman dropping 2 spots in that